Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ramesh Chand here, a PhD research scholar of Dr. Vishal Santosh Sharma and Dr. Rajiv Trehin of Industrial Production Engineering Department at Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National Institute of Technology, Jalandhar. So today I am going to introduce about the MJP, multi-jet 3D printer based 3D printing process. So as similar to other 3D printing process, the basic principle is quite similar to other 3D printing process. We will firstly design the part and then we people will install that part to this particular interface. This interface is particularly designed by the 3D printers, 3D systems itself, and it is very much compatible with this 3D system MJP 3D printer. So what we can do in this particular setup, we can directly upload the drawings to this particular setup, as I am going to upload for you. Import. Now you can see this part is on the interface. Now for the meanwhile I am going to put it auto place. It will automatically get placed. So after placing this, we are able to change its direction, location. If you want to do any kind of produce any kind of extrusions, holes, any kind of geometry in this, that we can modify this one. So meanwhile I am just going to tell you overview about this process. So after that we will click on this add to queue, then this part will be ready to get print on this 3D printer. So before starting the printing process, we should know some initial steps on this particular setup. The beauty of this particular setup is that it can produce a minimum layer thickness of 32 micron. So that means the probability of compaction of the material is very much good as compared to other 3D printing. So very first thing is, this is a base plate of this 3D printer or main part of this particular 3D printer. On this particular base plate, this is basically aluminum based base plate. We people will, or this 3D system, 3D printer will produce the 3D parts. I am just going to show you some parts. This is a part fabricated by this setup. After this is a super hydrophobic surface. You can see this is super hydrophobic surface. This is super hydrophobic surface. So after printing, this will look like something this. After post processing, it will become like this. What I mean to say that? I mean to say that it will remove the wax from the main material and only the extruded geometries will remain left behind. So this is about the beauty of this particular machine or abilities of this particular machine. Before start the printing, it is mandatory to clean this setup or this base plate with isopropyl alcohol. It should be 99% pure. After printing, we will have to check which material we have to install. Basically, meanwhile, I am working on VCJet M2R W2 material. This is a rigid kind of material, and this particular name is provided by 3D systems. Now, this is the support material. As I told you that over here, with the main material, one wax is also moving. So this is a support material, VCJet M2 SUP support material. What will happen after continuous 4 layers, UV light will come and that will harden the combined material of polymer as well as the wax. So this is all about the interface of the printing and the introduction to material, base plate. Now we will go to the setup, 3D printer. This is ProJet MJP 2500 plus 3D printer. So now I am going to tell you how this printer works. Now, this is a reciprocating head. This is a reservoir. Whenever the purging is the process of cleaning the jets, will be there, then the wax will be extruded over here. This is a UV light lamp. As I have told you earlier, after a consistent 4 layers, this UV light will be activated and it will harden the whole polymer. This is the roller. This is a roller blade. This is a roller blade. It is quite hotter now, so I cannot touch this one. So with this reciprocatory motion, this printer will work, and each reciprocatory motion, it will give you a layer of 32 micron. This is the base plate. This is the working area where the 3D printing will be done. Now before start the printing, this particular setup should be locked. Now the thing is that which material you have to use. This is the material tray area. Over here we people will install the materials. This is how we people will put the material over here, and similarly towards this material over here. So as you can see, minimum 2 cartridges are must to start the printing. So meanwhile, I'm going to remove this one. This is how we can start the process. This is the interface. As on this desktop or the designing part, I have told you this tensile specimen. That is the input given to this machine by this cable, and now it is being reflected on the interface. So this is an interface. From here, we people will control this setup. Over here, this setup, we are not able to control any kind of parameters because it is a very much production oriented setup. So it will automatically control each and every parameter. So I'm just going to tell you something about its settings, tools, material. This is a starting time. Start time when the printing will be start, how much time it will take, estimated time, complete time, how much layers it will insert. Meanwhile, I have removed the material, so that's why it is showing some errors. Over here, the material that you people will use, that will be reflected. Material drawer, this is closed, and the waste status. Wax, how much wax is left or removed by the setup, this over here. So we people will have to maintain all these things, and rest of things we can not do any kind of change in this particular setup. So this is a Sonocator bath, or in simply we can say that this is the post processor. What it will do, it will just remove the wax from the main material while this saturated oil. Saturated oil, meanwhile I'm using a refined oil that will remove the main material, wax material from the main material. And initially after 3D printing, the part will be somewhat like this. This is super hydrophobic surfaces as I have already shown to you. And after post processing, it will look like this. So over here, what I will do for a VC jet WT material, I will maintain the temperature of 41 degrees Celsius, and different wavelengths and frequencies oscillations will be given to the setup so that the wax can be removed from the main material. After removing that part, removing the wax, this part will be removed, washed with the natural water or tap running water, and the part will be ready to use. Thank you so much.